Oh, yeah. Just so you understand the breach of contract, failing to perform one's own promise by repudiating it, or by interfering with another party's performance, breach of contract. Now, I just wanted you to understand that when you're given a manual and you're employed in the sheriff's department, and you know that you have to enforce the clearly established rights of any and all persons. Yes. And I send you an email documenting that my rights are being violated. And you decide you don't have to do what you had sworn that you would do when you were employed in the sheriff's department. It's a breach of contract. Now, I've been wanting to speak to Marilyn about why it is that you don't think that she has the same rights to her image, yes, as any other person has, because that's not an image of Marilyn Van Proyen. And my children and her children don't have the same rights as other children. Now, I'm not wanting to stay at the emergency couch tonight. I told you that I wanted to sleep in a hotel, in a bed instead of on a bed. And I wanted to take a bath. And I want you to enforce my rights. Now, there is a problem, isn't there? As soon as you give me my sons, I'm going to sue the fucking shit out of every sheriff of the United States. So you're obstructing justice. You're torturing me. You're harassing me. And your thought was that you would just continue to do what you've been doing because you got paid to do that. Bribery. Um, there's a few bureaus in the United States. Yeah. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Could you get me every employee of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives? Yes. They probably have a manual of employment also, and they have arresting authority. Yes. And when I show you the sheriff's manuals, and you decide, no, we're just not going to enforce the sheriff's manuals. I'm going to sue every employee of the ATF for refusing to obligate every sheriff. Now, there's the Bureau of Arms Control. These bureaus, unit of the United States Department of State, U.S. participation in multilateral arms control negotiations, the prohibition of chemical weapons, development of relating to arms control. Why don't you get me of all the employees of the State Department? Now, I know somebody's thinking I'm in Kentucky, aren't you, when you were the director of the CIA? Oh, then you got that new job as the Secretary of State of the United States. How's that going? Just deciding that you're not going to enforce international treaties. Not very impressive of the White House. Pouch. Now get me every employee of the State Department right now. Now listen, you dumb fucks that work in the White House. Pooch. You can't just decide that you're not going to enforce an international treaty with Iran because you don't want to enforce it anymore. Now, there's a process for having treaties, yes, and then there's a process for removing treaties. And as important as you are, Kentucky, okay, you might be one big guy, but I'm not short myself. Now, 265 fucking pounds, I'll take you right now. I'm thinking, yes, that the State Department will no longer decide that they're not going to enforce treaties with other nations, okay? Because that was the dumbest fucking thing I ever seen in my fucking life.